Hey, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Dizo and you are watching the ShadeSnSoleS channel. Alright guys, for tonight we're going to be doing the real review for the Anthony Edwards 2. Now I've had these shoes since November 1st. Yeah, so I've played around in them already. This is the pair that I used to play. This was actually a pair that I wasn't able to use. I bought two because I was worried that I wouldn't be getting the other one on time. But yeah, not the launch colorway, but the black and white colorway, because out of all the colorways, like I wanted to get these. I wanted to get these and not that orange pink release colorway. So like I said, I have two pairs. I'm probably gonna get rid of this one, right? But the purposes why I have this is to show you guys the clean pair, and also to show you guys that yes, I have actually played in them already. All right, first off, the box. Okay, what I like about the box is, well, Anthony Edwards box, right? Just like the ones, like they have something unique in them, not just a typical box. Okay, Anthony Edwards 2, size 8. The box is open like this, not the traditional take off the top box, but open this way. All right, let's talk about the outsole of the shoe. The outsole of the shoe, I like it. It's very impressive. Not the traditional looking herringbones, but like an arrow feature, right? The top of the herringbones. None of the other ones that go on the opposite side. But I can tell you right now, man, I think this is a little bit better than the ones. If you played with the ones, those are pretty good already. These I think are better, right? And in conjunction to the midsole and how it's constructed, and you guys can see this right now. Although the top view looks like the AE1s, right? They do not feel like the AE1s because the AE2s feels like they are wider. So as I transition from the outsole on towards the midsole, because of this the extensions of the lateral portion of this, I forgot what they're called. There's a specific term for it, but I forgot what they're called, right? This feels not just wider, but also better because it has a wide base when you're stepping on the foot. And not just that, not just wide, it also feels more like, especially with the top portion not having that rubber casing that it had in the ones, it just feels a little bit more comfortable and flexible. Okay, so the midsole on these, let's read what Adidas has for the midsole. Adidas says boost and light strike, rubber outsole. Okay, well, they're only saying boost and light strike. To be honest, the boost on this one doesn't feel like the bounciest boost, right? But it's boost where if this was an engine, like it was tuned up just to be for basketball. Now if you like the ones, because that one has, I can actually feel the bounce on this, on the AE1s. I'm not saying there's no bounce on the AE2s. There's more bounce on the AE1s, but there's more court feel on the AE2s. All right, so I like it because for me, who has an injured foot, for me who has had surgery on his foot, when it's too much bounciness and I have to compensate for the stability of the shoe, it hurts my foot. Okay, I'm just telling that as a general concept. I'm not saying the AE1s hurt my foot, because it didn't. Okay, but for this one, this didn't hurt my foot also, and it's a little bit less bouncy but more court feel. So that's why I'm kind of saying, and also in addition, this feels lower to the ground than the AE1s. Okay, that's just my comparison from how I felt from the ones and the twos. For those who are looking for a more court feel side, I would pick these more than the AE1s. All right, so that's what I like about the AE2 so far. outsole, midsole. Okay, now time for the upper. So the upper, obviously, unlike the AE ones where it's all covered with that rubber texture from these ones, okay? Not that this one is lacking on the durability side or the quote-unquote strength side of it, right? It's not. That feeling that you have here is still the same as the AE ones, but the release or them omitting the whole rubber thing is actually a step up, a growth from the AE ones, as I would like to think of it, because now, as I mentioned earlier, it's not that they are more comfortable. They feel comfortable, but they are more flexible than the ones for sure because of the omission of that rubber, that whole rubber piece that's covering the side panels. So when you take those out, these become more comfortable and more flexible, okay? And like I said, it feels like the AE ones were tighter. They may look the same, right? But the AE2s are, to me, feels wider inside. I didn't do a side-by-side comparison of the length between one side to the other, but they feel wider for sure. So for those that needed to go up half a size on the ones because of the narrow feeling of the shoe, you don't need to do that on this one. However, when it comes to sizing, front to back still feels the same length. All right, so to continue on the upper, they got this faux covered looking like carbon fiber, although this ain't real carbon fiber, right? But to me it feels good. And yeah, it's supposed to provide external lockdown on the heel portion, but not only do you get that, you also get these, bro. Like the internal heel pillows on this are crazy. Okay, so here's what most people might not be able to say on their review, well, because they only do one-day reviews and not actually play continuously with the shoe, because what they're saying is the lockdown on these are crazy. While I am not arguing or going against it, right? They're saying you can never slip up on these shoes. The more you wear them, obviously, just like anything, it gets a little bit lesser, okay? But has my ankles really popped up? No. I'm just saying that the first time you're gonna wear this, you really feel tight, really feel cinched up there, like the full grip in there. But obviously, just like anything else, the more and more you use it, the lesser it becomes, okay? So I don't want you guys to get the concept where you're never gonna have any heel slippage. Okay, you will, but just a tad bit. But man, these heel counters right here, they work really good, especially with this heel counters and heel pillows that are covering it. Now, breathability, same with the AE ones. These aren't as breathable, but I'm telling you, man, the feel of this shoe, the comfort of this shoe may not feel premium of the premiums, but it feels like a signature shoe, okay? Like just the look of it, the feel of it, feels like an actual signature shoe. Now, funny enough, I had a Nike shoe in the past when I was like about, what, like 8 years old, 9 years old, that came from the States when I was still in the Philippines, and it doesn't look like the features on this doesn't look like it, but this just reminds me of that same feeling because it was black and white, and yeah, it just brings me to that feeling when shoes were really premium feeling. You know what I mean? So also one of the issues of the ones, the mids, were the feeling that you cannot lace up this front portion of the laces. They fixed that. Well, they already fixed that on the AE1 lows. They managed to not have those problems here in the AE2s as well. So that's how I like about it. Last part of the review would be the sizing of the shoe. Okay, so I'm a true to size 8.5. My AE1s, I went down half a size. My AE2s, I still went down half a size. So whatever you went with your AE1s, okay, that's going to be the same size as AE2s. But dizo, how am I going to fit the AE2s if they're not available? Well, like I said, the heel and the forefoot portion length is the same as the AE1s. So go ahead and try those AE1s that are sold in the stores, and that will be the length feeling of the AE2s. However, if you fit the AE1s and they feel narrow, but the length from the heel to the forefoot fits you, you don't need to go up half a size for AE2s just to have that narrowness, or to get rid of that narrowness feeling of the ones, because like I said, the AE2s are a little bit more narrow friendly than the ones. Okay, so there you go with the sizing. Performance, my take on the performance on the AE2s. Okay, how much are they selling the AE2s for? Let's see. I didn't even do a product description read just because I'm too excited to share this review with you guys. It's $130. Is this worth $130? To me, signature shoe, the feeling that I got from this, the performance that I got from this, and in the climate or the world now with performance shoes and signature shoes, yeah, I think $130 is not a bad deal for this. I mean, it looks pretty sick. I actually think about, so the AE1s, I played in them, and then the rest of the time I rock them casually. I think with these ones I can still rock these casually, and people would still be looking at these, you know what I mean? So, oh, one thing I didn't even cover, man, is the infinity plate on these ones, or the X plate. Not quite infinity, because they didn't connect these, and that's one thing I really loved about the AE1s, and I'm glad that they have this on the AE2s. They have this rubber portion here also, right, in addition to the X plate that they have. And that's also why I love the AE1s, because as I mentioned, my foot starts to hurt when I compensate for the comfortability with the use of my own foot's stability. So if my foot starts to provide more stability because of how soft the cushion is, that's when it starts to hurt. I didn't have a problem with that with the ones and the twos, because it has stability plates in there that help me not get hurt. Okay, I don't know if I broke that down. I'm trying to break that down as easy so you guys can conceptualize what I'm trying to say. But yes, that is my issues with some of the shoes, that I have to overcompensate for stability just because they have too much comfort, too much cushion on there. All right, well, that is my review for the AE2s. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for your support. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about the shoe, hit me up in the comment section below. Just be respectful. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support. It's your boy Dizo signing off. Peace out.